In a recent episode, I made a somewhat risky investment. Will I be taking a loss, or will my risk pay off? A few episodes ago at Southern Fried Gaming Expo, I paid $20 for 4 Gamecube discs, Paper Mario's and Ocarina of Time discs that, according to the seller, were failed resurfacing attempts. I'm banking on being able to at least get one of these working to make this worth what I paid. I'm headed to a shop called Video Game Trader, a place with an industrial grade resurfacer. I'll be investing even more money into these, having them professionally repaired, but that's probably going to be worth the money in the long run. It gives them the best chance of survival. I'm also bringing along 2 GameCube games I got in a buy from a flea market callback. These were only lightly scratched. Didn't look bad, but when they were tested, they froze at the title screen. To be fair, the seller did say he wasn't sure if they worked, and I got these for a great price. Over half the PS2 games from this lot also didn't work. Now, I can probably fix those with my JFJ resurfacer, but that thing won't cut it on GameCube games. It's been a few years since I've been to Video Game Trader. I used to work for a Harley-Davidson dealer near here, but I don't really live close by anymore. I'm amazed at how big this place has gotten. It's tripled in size and definitely has some exotic inventory. I'm dropping the discs off for repair at the repair department, and it's going to run me $5 per disc, which, given the potential value we have here, that's an expense I'm willing to incur. While they're working, I'm checking out the shelves in here. They make these custom boxes for the games, which on one hand is cool, but without the original boxes, some of these games are definitely priced on the high side. Like this Dragon Warrior 4 for $200. I mean, maybe there's a manual included? I don't know. I mean, I'd have to know what I was getting for that much cash. This copy of The Bard's Tale is priced at $35, which is pretty close to the average eBay rates. I mean, it's nice to have a place like this where you can walk in and expect to see uncommon RPGs on the shelves. You know, if money isn't a big deal. But of course, I'm not a buyer at these rates. That's not to say there aren't deals to be found here, though. Years ago, in a bargain bin just like this one, I scored some fairly uncommon Atari 2600 games for a great price. Sorcerer's Apprentice, which I didn't yet have in the collection, definitely a great grab at only $1, and Sorcerer, a game I had never seen in person and also an Atari game that's worth way more than the $3 it was priced at. 2600 stuff can be really slow movers in a brick and mortar setting, so this was an opportunity to add some great stuff to my collection at a very low price. I also grabbed this boxed copy of G-Lock for the Sega Genesis, a great home version of a game I absolutely loved in the arcade. Only $6.99 for this bad boy, which is half the actual market value even today. Man, G-Lock frickin' ruled. Did you ever play this game in the arcade or otherwise? Comment below and let me know, because you know that I love getting a conversation going with you. The bargain bin today has some okay games in it, but these are also priced at their eBay value, so there's just not much I can do with these. It's always fun to look around though. Video Game Trader also had a really good selection of consoles available. Again, prices are on the high side, but that's to be expected. Everything they have is really clean, and I'm assuming guaranteed. So this can be a one and done if you're just wanting to go in, put down the money, get what you want today, and take it home. And you know, again, it's just nice to be able to look at some of this stuff. I'm very impressed with the way the store is laid out and about how much it's grown in size since I've been here last time. It's just really impressive. Everything was well presented here. Alright, we're back at the Mur Cave. Got the GameCube hooked up. My GameCube, one of the cleanest things I've ever picked up out hunting. It's very reliable. Got our repairs here. We're $30 in on resurfacing all of these. The 4 games we got at the expo and these 2 games that we got in a random pickup there from a contact. So hopefully these work. Now I know that these were resurfacing attempts that fail. We already know there's not a very good chance there. This could be a total loss. We just got to see what we come up with. Let's check them out. Let's go. Well, we are 0 for 1. We got one of the Zeldas here. Let's see what we got. Okay. We may have something here. Alright. This is the other Zelda. Come on, baby, be good to us. Come on. Come on. Poop on an ever-living bun. Down to the last one of that stack. The other Paper Mario. We are going to be going 0 for 4 here if this one doesn't work. Come on. Uh-oh. And we're 0 for 4. Alright, here's the Super Smash Brothers that didn't work. It looks great. I mean, the polishing job is perfect. That doesn't necessarily mean anything, as we definitely know and can tell by now. Alright. Okay, I mean, we're in a game, provided it doesn't freeze up here. I have no reason to think we don't have something going. Generally, if a GameCube game is going to freeze up, it does it at the title screen or loading the game from the title screen. That has not occurred here, so. Alright, this was the Big Daddy. We hope this one works. Hopefully our luck does not run out here. Here we go. It is loading. We have a game in progress. Well, there you have it. These were a no-go, and that's a shame, but we kind of knew what we were getting into. I just thought it was worth a shot, and it was. We could have got lucky. We just didn't. You know, it's not always a win in this business. However, we got these working. I'm glad that these work now. The deal on these is you put them in, and they were freezing at the title screen. Now we're able to get into the game. Played for a while on both of them, so yeah, I feel very confident in saying that I saved these two. So, last Game Hunt episode, we bought this Wii for only $20, which was a decent price considering it had all the parts. But once I got around to testing this thing, both Wiimotes it came with were broken. Again, this is what you get into. I was told they worked. They don't. That means I gotta have more money in this thing. Now luckily I did have a good Wiimote and nunchuck to round this out as a set, but that's at my expense. $20 is definitely still top of the mark on Wiis, and that's because the rates have dropped online due to an uptick in listings, an increase in supply. Wiis were hitting as high as $90 a little over 2 years ago, but are now down to an average selling price of about $50. And to clarify, I'm not complaining, I'm simply reporting, right? You've got to stay on top of what things are doing in the market, whether you're a buyer or a seller. And I had a wild day-long Twitter argument with another creator recently who accused people like me of making prices higher on games and consoles, when in reality, he had it backwards. It's as simple as this. By scavenging for games and consoles, then refurbishing and selling them, you're increasing a supply and meeting a demand. In all walks of economics, groceries, gas, any commodity, the prices will inevitably drop, and this is a terrific example of that. More Wiis on the market means more undercutting of rates and competition. And that's great for buyers. I mean, this isn't one-sided. It's not red team versus blue team. In any hobby involving collecting, you're going to be both a buyer, a seller, and sometimes a trader. All three of these things are integral parts of collecting. The suggestion that any of these roles are inherently evil or immoral is just ridiculous. Now this Stampede though, right? We bought this in a recent episode and I kept this for myself. Obviously, I keep a lot of what I buy. I mean, that's how the collection came about. But wow, I was in for a big surprise when I opened this thing up. Now I saw the manual when I was buying it, but what I didn't see was this. An actual receipt for the game. And I love time capsule pieces like this. This is just another great part of game hunting when you can find something like this. This is a receipt from a service merchandise store. If you're not familiar with service merchandise, they went defunct eons ago. If you are familiar with service merchandise, well, then you're probably getting on up there in age like me. But this is for the game, purchased for $20. They actually bought an AM FM clock radio too for 25 bucks. What a great time capsule piece. This is dated February 25th, 1982. So I was 4 years old when this was purchased. This is so great, man. Where else are you going to find something like that? Speaking of trading earlier, trading is a fantastic way to maximize the value of what you're holding at the end of the day. And I'm not talking about GameStop trades. Click here right now and check out this episode on how and where to make some sick trades for some massive amounts of credit. And I'll see you in the next video.